Hello, brand builders and entrepreneurs. Today I'm going to share 2 tips for helping consumers believe that your brand can deliver on its promises. To help, we'll learn from some of the hottest trends in consumer packaged goods, adaptogens and CBD. Both are growing like crazy, so this will be fun. I am Ryan Pintado-Vertner. After 12 years of building brands and innovation pipelines, I started Smoketown Consulting. We help companies build disruptive brands and innovation pipelines that can change the world. So let's get into it. Here's the takeaway. If you forget everything else, don't forget this. Find a relatable way to prove that your product works. Every brand promises to solve a consumer's problems. Successful brands have persuasive proof that's easy to understand. To learn this lesson, like I mentioned, we're going to focus on 2 fast-growing trends, adaptogens and CBD. So what are they? I'll start with CBD, or cannabidiol. The cannabis plant is made up of more than 80 phytocannabinoids, a scientific term for the chemical compounds that make the plant tick. One of them is cannabidiol. It has no psychoactive properties, but can impact the human body in many, many beneficial ways. The marketplace term for this is CBD. Now let's talk about adaptogens. Adaptogen describes a group of plants that help the body cope with stressors. Ginseng is probably the best known, but here's a list of several others. Both adaptogens and CBD are showing up in Amazon and grocery stores at a super fast rate. Watching their successes and failures is a good way to learn. Here's lesson number 1. Create a familiar frame of reference. Most people are naturally skeptical about new ideas until they realize the new idea is based on an old idea. Here's how that works with adaptogens. Rather than introducing them without context and, by implication, suggesting that they're new and untrustworthy, brands are linking them to Eastern medicine, which is centuries old. This is an example of how Moon Juice creates this familiar frame of reference with an Instagram post. As you can see, the image cues Hinduism, one of the oldest religions on earth. Here's another example from Rebel. Rebel is a functional beverage that's also growing fast. Notice how the copywriting gives turmeric 2,000 years of legitimacy and power. Here's our second lesson. Make the science approachable. Science is a powerful reason to believe your product will work, but only if you make it easy to understand. To illustrate this point, I'll use 2 examples, one that works and one that's getting there but needs a little help. Here again, Moon Juice stands out. Super U is one of their dietary supplements that helps with stress management. Check out this packaging. They use one very simple phrase to anchor the product's efficacy in science. Clinically shown. Right away, this tells me that the brand's promise is anchored in something concrete. Now, of course, not every brand has clinical proof, but they can still use science as a reason to believe. Here's an example that, with some tweaks, could be even more powerful. This graphic explains how cannabinoids like CBD work in the body. It's visually very interesting, but too complex for the average consumer. A simple tweak. Keep the image because it's working, but radically simplify the copy. For example, you could just say, attaches to receptors that regulate pain, or scientifically proven to activate your body's own pain management system. An infographic that is best suited for kind of a research report could actually become a really powerful tool that could work on packaging or work in social media. Okay, that's it. I hope those tips help you convince consumers that your brand can deliver on its promises. Follow Smoketown Consulting on Facebook or LinkedIn for more tips and advice. Details below.